Alright, so hello and welcome. So I have definitely been covering some weird topics on this channel. I told you I was going to merge the channel and, do a little bit of some different things. And I'm adding another to it, which is home automation. I've been wanting to cover home automation for a while, but the thing with home automation is once you get home automation working, it's really hard to say, well, you know what, I want to teach it because it's all working. And it's kind of boring to watch somebody work on a system that's working 100% correctly. So I've decided to change out my brains of my house and then rewrite all the code and rewrite everything and take you along for the ride. So I've gone from a Raspberry Pi to an Odroid, and I'm still using the Home Assistant as the main mechanism for everything. So you got a house that you can walk through, and you can like command it to do stuff, and you kind of feel like Star Trek sometimes. And you can tell the TV to play whatever you want, and while you're busy trying to, corral your daughter. And then you got all their rooms, all the kids' rooms hooked up to like statistical data on humidity, light, temperature. And they're their own ecosystems, so they have their own heaters, and all the heaters are, driven upon the temperature in that room, and if they're in that room. So if they're in their room, no matter if they're moving around or what, the heater will work. But if they're not in their room, the heater will not work. It's really cool. So you save a lot of money on like energy and things. But what I really like is it's very a logic problem. Every room is it's got its own little logical issues to the room, and it bridges electronics and coding all into one place. So if you've ever been wanting to get into home automation or play around with it or get addicted to it, I'm going to help you out. So I hope you enjoy this new little playlist and have a good one. Alright, so let's take a look on what you need to get started. So first off, you're going to need one of these. Now you can go Raspberry Pi. And if you're brand new to this, you might want to. I don't know. But the only thing is about Raspberry Pis right now, they're very rare to get a hold of. They're very expensive, and this thing's twice as fast. The downfall of this thing is you got to be a little bit more nerdy. Not really, I guess. It is missing a few things that the Raspberry Pi doesn't have. But what it makes up for is the fact that you can write real-time data to it. And the Raspberry Pi, you have to have a solid-state drive hooked to it if you want to do the cool stuff. Because what will happen if you don't have that, it will ruin the SD card. It will. That was bent. Weird. That's sort of bent right there. Okay, so what you're looking at is basically a little tiny computer that can run your whole house. And it's got 4 USB ports, a cool HDMI, a network that you're going to have to plug in. Okay. And on the back, it's got a little tiny port for it's USB. I think it's that micro USB. And this is the part right here is what you're going to need. Okay, so right there plugs in the eMMC, and the eMMC is this little kind of hard drive. You can think of it as a little static hard drive or a solid state drive. And it can accept real-time statistical data. It holds your operating system and everything else too. And to write to it, you need this very special looking thing. It looks like this. Okay. So if you're interested in this, I'll put some links in below, but I'll cover everything that you need first off in this video, and then we'll put it together. Okay, so this is a USB 3.0 Emmc reader. So when you buy this, like this I got on Amazon, only because the place that carries this, they're out of stock. This, I would highly recommend getting it from not Amazon. Because Amazon, what happens, people like buy it and then they mark it up and then they put it on Amazon. So I would not buy this on Amazon. This right here already comes with a Linux operating system on it. You're looking at the Red Dot series if you're looking at to buy it. The Red Dot, and there's a green, I think a green dot. The Red Dot series is what you want. I would highly recommend 32 gigs when it comes down to it, because by the time you get everything on here, yeah, you're going to need it. So that plugs into this little thing right here. Okay, but we don't want to plug that in just yet, because actually we need to plug it into over here onto this thing. So how do you plug it in? Very carefully. Let me zoom out just a little bit to get rid of this. So this should fit down right on there. It just snaps. Okay, it's not that hard. Just snaps on there. So now think of it as a USB drive. So now we need to write an OS to this in order to boot this thing up. So that's what we're going to be doing next, is writing it a new OS to it. The one that comes with it is meant for Linux, but it's not meant for like total home automation stuff. We need the original Home Assistant operating system to be on that chip. Alright, so we have this little thing. We're going to plug it into a USB drive. Got my little area over there. Okay. And now I will take off my dock cam. Okay. Then we're going to go over to a website. It's called Home Assistant. Home Assistant. So I'll put a link for this below. It's not hard to find this, but I can't show my Odroid anymore. But make sure you're downloading this for the right Odroid. So I got an Odroid N2. So first off, we need to find this. Okay, so link below for this. Now we're going to need something. It's called, I'm going to butcher this name. I see a bunch of people going, it's Balana. I'm going to call it Etcher. There you go. So Etcher, we're going to need that. There, I ruined your fun. Download for Mac OS. Of course, if you have Windows or anything else, you can download it for this. It's a great program. Great program. I think I already have this on here, but keep. Once you get to a point where you got this thing going and it's stable, you don't even need a computer hooked to it. You don't have to have anything hooked to it. You can just interface it through its web page. So it's all good. drag that to my applications. Sure. Now I got the latest, greatest copy of it. Okay, while that's doing that thing, let's go back to Odroid and let's go down below, and what we want to do is look for the image. So you'll notice you got this. Okay, I'm using the Odroid N2. I thought this was the plus, but I don't see the plus on it. Interesting. No, it's just the N2. Just looking at the receipt. Oh, look at that. N2 plus is on the receipt, but the box says N2. So I'm going to go N2 plus. Okay. Worst thing, it just doesn't work and I'll have to redo it. So I'm going to copy that, and then I'm just going to go opening Etcher. Etcher will probably, if you're running it on a Mac for the very first time, yeah, it'll do this little thing. Open. It will also probably do this, so I'm just going to give you this ahead of time because I know a lot about Macs, and in the Apple menu under System Preferences, you're going to come to Security and Privacy, and you're going to come to the General tab. Oh, the Privacy tab. And so if you ever have any problems with it, just make sure that you're going through these. Just unlock it. And then, oh look, my OBS needs a little thingy. And just look for the application that you're having a problem with and put a checkbox in it. And I don't see anything about Etcher, so that's good. Alright, so you want to flash from URL, okay, and this is where you got that URL, and flash from URL, and paste. Okay. And I'm just making sure I don't have any other things plugged into my computer. So I'm going to select a target, and it's going to say the generic USB flash disk media. This is the disk media that is the eMMC. There we go. This will take a while. Alright, so I'm going to let it go and then I'll meet you back here. Alright, so now that we have that flashed, it said 100% successful, complete, successful target. We're going to take the USB out. Excuse me, how dirty my hands are. I've been playing with graphite, so I do some electroforming and some other crazy stuff, but I've been all over the place today, so, and some of that stuff does not come off your hands very easy. I promise you it's not always that bad. So I'm taking that off that module, and then I'm going to put it on this module. Nice little, means it's good. Okay, now another thing is you're going to need a watch battery. 2032 watch battery. Alright, it's ready to rock and roll. I'm going to leave the case off of it. I'll show the case later for right now. What's going to be really interesting is trying to capture this. Okay, this is going to be the fun part. Is trying to capture this through the dock cam as it boots up. And so I'm going to have to learn how to do that real quick so that you guys can get a real-time demonstration on things. So I got to clean my desk off and get into a different mode of teaching so we can cover this. So that's what I'm going to be doing, and then I'll meet you back here where we boot it up and see what happens. Alright, so the next thing you're going to do is you're going to plug in a network cable to the Odroid or Raspberry Pi, whatever you're using, and then you're going to do a restart, and you're going to get this. And you know you have it right because it's going to have an IP address based upon your router schema. Okay? In this case, mine is 10.0.0.1, but then the schema is going to go to 201 for this device. So 10.0.0.201 is going to be mine for right now until I redo everything after I do this video. Alright, sweet. So, and this is your local network, so it's not like this is your outside IP address at this point. Okay? So this is not your outside IP address. That's something different that we'll cover later. So right now you'll only be able to access this home assistant from inside your network for the time being until we get it set up, and then we would be able to access it from the outside world after that. Okay, so find a computer and type in the following. Let me shut off my dock cam. Go to the internet. So in this case, it's going to be 10.0.0, whoops, 0.0, 8123. And you're going to get this. And it's going to ask you to create an account. At this point, you can make just about anything. So I have a Raspberry Pi on the network right now, and I want to distinguish the two, so I'm going to call it Odroid Home. I don't know what to call it yet. I'm just going to end up wiping it anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah, we'll just call it Odroid Home for right now. Okay, so here I would say next. Now, because I have already things on my network, it automatically picked up all of these crazy things. We'll go through a lot of this stuff, but just know that if you don't have anything on your network, you're not going to get anything here. If you do have, let's say you have Alexa and Google already, you're going to love Home Assistant. If you are just starting out, you probably should go with Alexa because it does have the capabilities of giving you some connections to things that are hard to get connected to. Okay? And then you're gonna like want Google for your main, hey, turn on the lights, or hey, turn on the TV. So Alexa allows you to connect to a great deal of things, and I would say Google allows you to just, like babble at it and treat it like, that person in your house that you want to command all the time. So that's my humble opinion anyway. Alright, so this is what we got. We got a fresh copy of Home Assistant. Oh, it's so beautiful. Now, if you saw mine, it's sweet, but and this is kind of refreshing to have this nice clean layout again. Let's kind of just browse around just for a second, see how it went. I can already feel the Odroid is definitely a lot faster. This is very fast. Wow. It's like almost all gone. So we're going to have to start absolutely from square one. It's going to be fun, and we'll get started. Cool. So now we are into Home Assistant. Now we'll have to pick our battle to what we want to choose first to attack.